Hibana tricking is one of the many myths that I'll be attempting to bust in this video. Speaking of, does Hibana tricking actually work? If you don't know, as Hibana, if you put 4 pellets on the top and bottom of a reinforced wall, perfectly in the center, once your hard breach goes off, it will take the reinforcement off of the wall. To which then you can put a breaching charge on the wall and blow up the rest of it, giving you a thermite-sized breach with just a third of Hibana's pellets. As you can see, I'm putting charge at the top and the bottom of the wall. I'm opening it, and look at that. It works. Awesome. Reinforcements have always been kind of glitched like this. You've been able to do it with Maverick, with Ace, with Hibana, and I can't tell if it's intentional at this point. Another way to glitch through a reinforcement is this ram and mirror strat. If you have a mirror on the enemy team and you play ram, all you have to do, allegedly, with ram is throw a ram device on the mirror window, drive it through the mirror window, and now the mirror is destroyed and your ram is on the other side. Now I've loaded into a custom game. Let's put my ram device on this mirror and activate it, and it's not working. Interesting. Let's try it again. And it didn't work a second time either. That's insane. So this myth is busted, but I won't lie, this did work before the new patch came out, and I've made TikToks about it countless times. So I think it was just a glitch that they didn't mean to put in the game that they just patched with these new patch notes. Now, this mirror window might be indestructible, but Osa's shield isn't. Which brings me into my third myth, sledging through Osa's shield. Allegedly, what you're able to do is place an Osa down, and as the Osa is being placed down, you're able to sledge the Osa shield, which makes the Osa shield destroyed. But to an attacker and a defender's POV, the Osa shield is still there, so when a defender peeks the Osa shield, you can easily shoot them from behind the shield without them knowing. Now, I saw this and was super surprised, so let's test it out in a custom game. As you can see, my friend's playing Osa, he's going to put down the shield, and I'm going to attempt to sledge it. That didn't work the first time. Let's see if we can change the timing around a little bit to get this glitch to work. Okay, so obviously, trying it multiple times did not work. I couldn't get the timing down, so as far as I can tell, this myth is busted. Again, I think it's like the ram and mirror trick, where it was a thing for a while, but it got patched with the new patch notes. So Osa shield can't die to Sledge's hammer right now, but do you know what can? Barricades. There's this weird glitch that I saw on TikTok of people putting 9 bullets into the side of a barricade, and then all they needed to do was shoot 1 bullet in the center, and it completely destroyed the barricade. Now, this would initially make sense, because all you have to do to destroy a barricade is shoot it a bunch of times in different areas of the barricade, and the barricade will get taken down. So, I've brought you onto Chalet, and I've barricaded a few doors. As you can see, I'm putting a bunch of bullets into this barricade, 9 to be exact. I shoot 1 bullet into the center, and it doesn't break. Now, some people in the comments of that video were saying that it takes 12 bullets, so as you can see, I tried 3 more, which would add to 12, and it still didn't work. I even tried mag dumping twice with both of my guns in the barricade, and it still didn't work. Now, the TikTok that I saw, I analyzed, and you can tell by the timestamps above that they used a jump cut to destroy the barricade after they shot it, so not only did they fake it, but this myth is busted. It sounded cool though, and I can imagine making a lot of hero plays with it. Just like flying into a barricade midair with Amaru, which brings me to my next myth. Can you fly into a window with Amaru's gadget while you're midair? Well, let's see. I brought you onto the roof of Canal, arguably the map with the most amount of windows in one place. Now, all I have to do as Amaru is jump off the roof and spam my ability button at a window, and hopefully I should be able to Amaru through the window mid-air. Let's try it out. And that didn't work. Now, I've seen some people be able to do this whenever they hit the ground at the exact moment, but you end up flying through the window and getting downed right after you land on the other side. So it is possible, but not technically in the way that I was describing, so this myth is busted. It seems that something even as simple as a grappling hook can't do everything. But you know what can? Ayana's clone. The next myth, myth 6, is teammates being able to walk through Ayana's clone. If you don't know, Ayana's clone is made up of just 4 fans that project a hologram, which makes Ayana's clone. Now, because it's an attacker gadget and it's really only made up of 4 fans and it's a hologram, you should be able to walk right on past it, at least if you're an attacker. So, me as an attacker got my friend as Yana to go into a custom game to test this out. As you can see, he walks his clone in through the door, and I'm easily able to block it from coming inside. Even whenever he tries to block the door from me walking outside, I still can't pass the Yana clone, which means I can't walk through it, and it can't walk through me, which is something that I didn't expect. I actually kind of expected this one to work, but unfortunately, this myth is busted. But then again, if it's that big of an issue, all you have to do is shoot the clone, which Nock is able to do against Alibi. Myth 7. Nock can't get pinged by Alibi clones when she's in her ability. So again, this is coming from another TikTok, but I saw something about Nock not being able to get pinged by alibi clones if her ability is active. So I got my friend to go alibi on Oregon just to test this out. As you can see, Nock in base form without her ability active while shooting alibi clones gets pinged in the bottom left corner of your screen per usual. But as you can see, if you activate her ability, those pings turn to gray pings. If you don't know what this is, think about Cav and Jackal. Whenever Cav activates her silent step while getting pinged by Jackal, it turns gray, which means Cav actually isn't getting tracked every time it pings in the gray mode, which is the exact same thing that's happening here with Nock and Alibi. Anytime that your ability is active and the alibi attempts to ping you, if it is in this gray mode, it actually can't ping you at all, allowing you to sneak up on a lot of alibi players and kill them easily. But if you deactivate your ability as the alibi is still pinging you, you will get pinged. So you have to have it activated before and during the entire duration of alibi pinging you for all 4 pings. And I'm kind of surprised the devs didn't make this a main part of her reveal, because it's such an important thing that you'd think you'd really want to know. They also, for some reason, left out the fact that laser sights don't only increase hipfire accuracy. This is my 8th myth. Now, based off of the description of laser sights, you would assume that it only increases hipfire accuracy, because of the very obvious description that it increases hipfire accuracy, but this is actually not the case. If you ADS with a shotgun, like I'm doing here, without the laser sight, this is what the recoil and choke of the shotgun looks like. As you can see, nothing too abnormal. But the second that I equip the laser sight on my shotgun and I ADS from the exact same distance away on this target and I shoot my entire mag, the choke is actually smaller, meaning that you get more range whenever you are playing shotguns with the laser sight on, because it increases hipfire accuracy and it increases ADS accuracy, specifically for shotguns. So it doesn't just decrease hipfire accuracy, it decreases ADS accuracy too. Or I guess increases, but you get the idea. And no, this doesn't work on SMGs, it only works on shotguns. So you really want to only use a laser on shotguns and operators with shields. If you like playing shields, this siege myth next will blow your mind. Myth 9, repelling with shields. Again, this is another thing that I saw on TikTok, but essentially you're able, or theoretically able, to rappel onto this balcony as Monty with your shield in front of your face to then have a shield in front of your face while you're rappelled for the big window, which is an absolutely absurd idea, but let's try it out. As you can see, I'm trying to rappel on the balcony and I can't get my shield in front of my face. Let's try again. Still couldn't get it. Okay. As you can tell by this sped up footage, I tried again and again and again and again and again, and it still could not work. I kind of assumed that I had to be on like an exact pixel and get an exact timing, but the more and more that I did it, it just didn't seem to work. So I'm gonna have to say that this myth is busted, but I know it's someone that did it after the patch, so I don't know if it's a patch that happened. I'm honestly clueless about this. Let me know if you're able to replicate this glitch in the comments, but for now, it's busted. It's kind of weird though. Every new update, a bunch of operators like Monty have these weird glitches, kind of like this Fenrir myth that I'll go over right now, which is the fact that you're able to have invisible Fenrir mines if you place his mine on a bulletproof camera and pick up the bulletproof camera. Now, this is something that I saw a lot, not only with Fenrir, but with other gadgets as well. It was a pretty common bulletproof camera myth, but as you can see here, as Fenrir, I put my bulletproof camera down, I put the Fenrir mine on the bulletproof camera, I pick up the bulletproof camera, and the Fenrir falls, but it stays on the floor, and it doesn't phase through the floor, which is what the glitch was. Now, I tried doing it again just to see if maybe I got the placement wrong, but again, it didn't work. I even tried activating the gadget to see if that would make it to where it would go through the bulletproof camera and through the floor, but even that didn't work. And as someone who has been able to replicate this before the new patch notes flawlessly, I can without a doubt say that this is busted and this got patched, which is pretty unfortunate because it was really overpowered, but now the game is a bit more balanced. It overall does suck that in a ranked game I never got to try hiding these mines. With 11 as Azami, you can hide yourself instead. The myth is Azami hiding in the actual bunk beds on Oregon. So this is a really weird one because you have to get the Azami placement exactly correct, but if you put it in the bottom right leg of every single bunk that you go up to, you should be able to find a vault prompt with the Azami barricade to easily get over the barricade and into the bunk. Now at first I had a lot of trouble with this and I was about wrapped up and ready to call this myth busted, but I actually found a vault prompt for a millisecond, which got me super excited because I knew it was possible. If you crouch on the left side of the barricade and you look diagonally to the right, you might get a simple and very, very fast jump frame that you can abuse. If you can find exactly where to look to get this vault prompt, you can vault over the Azami and into the bunk in Oregon, which is great. It works on the bunk next to the bomb, it works on the bunk in kids, and it works on the bunk in dorms. It works on all the bunks, which is awesome. I'm definitely going to plant here as an attacker, and the defenders are going to have no idea where it is if they put these Azamis here. And I'm even going to hide here on defense. It's super, super cool. I will for sure be using this in my next few ranked games, just like this Goyo and Melusi myth coming up next. With Goyo and Melusi, if you place a Goyo canister on Melusi's gadget as she is placing it down, your Goyo will be placed on top of the Melusi, which means that if the Melusi opens when an attacker walks through, they actually can't shoot the Melusi to deactivate it. They have to shoot the Goyo on top of it, which will ignite it in flames, dealing the attackers a lot of damage, and it can even kill them in the process, especially with the Melusi slowdown, which is super, super powerful. Goyo can phase through Melusis, which is awesome, but he's also able to phase through drones, which brings me to myth number 13. Mozzie drones phasing through Goyo canisters. Now, you can do this with attacker drones too, but I don't know why you would ever do that and how you would replicate that in a ranked game, so let's just call it Mozzie drones for now. As Mozzie, if you capture a drone, drive it up to where Goyo is placing his canister. If you catch Goyo placing his canister mid-animation, you can drive your drone through the Goyo canister. When he places the Goyo canister down, if your drone is inside of it, it will actually force your drone to go through the floor. This will make it to where you can see through the floor, into the first floor, and to the second floor, and it makes your drone invisible. As you can see, we tried it out a multitude of times, and it worked every single time. It's pretty cool. Now, we made the mistake of putting it on concrete, which didn't let us escape anywhere that the concrete wasn't, but if you do it on wooden floor, you can actually drive around a lot more than I was able to here. But this myth is true. It's an actual thing you can replicate in your ranked games right now. Anyways, that's it for the myths in this video. Check out this next video where I go over the unspoken rules of Siege that you need to know. My name is Alka, and I'll see you in the next video. Later.